That is super cool. So
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you here today. I really want to celebrate your wins. You have such great wins, and I really want to celebrate you for showing up for yourself and committing and really making this huge shift within yourself and your quality of life. And it just was in 5 weeks, and you went all in and you did it. And these results are stellar. You know what? You even beat my own results. I'm so proud of you. I'm jumping
I
out of my
don't, okay, I
skin.
don't believe that.
Yeah, you did. This is so cool. This is completely awesome. So when I had done my original 5 sculpts, it was a year ago in July, literally
Uh-huh.
a year ago, I had started my own. And so in my 5 weeks, I lost the 26 inches and I lost 3 dress sizes. And I was just like, wow, because I also had that experience of having more energy and wanting to exercise more. And I felt like I came back to myself. I came back to life. It was, and then I just kept going. And then now a year later, now I have like the 50 pounds and I've lost 10 dress sizes because I kept going. I kept
Well,
living a
okay, so
lifestyle.
to me, that's something I didn't realize. I thought you, with your 5 week, what's the word, start point, you
Yeah.
lost 50 inches.
Yeah.
So it was, so, but what you're saying now is that it was 25, I think, first, and then you continued the journey to 50.
Exactly,
Got it. Okay.
exactly. Because what I found, what I'm so excited about, because you're going to share your experience, because this is what I keep seeing, like my own experience, is that this was a wonderful reset and jumpstart for me to continue into living a much more ideal lifestyle that continued the results and allowed me to arrive here today feeling so good, so vibrant, so much energy, so healthy. Really, I felt like I took about 16 years of mileage off of myself this last year from this jump start that I had. And so I'm so excited because Alexei, are you ready? I want to get a drum roll. Drum roll. I don't know if you can hear that.
Let me make it full screen, or let me make sure that there's no interruptions from my notification center. And let me open up full screen so I can fully enjoy the
Yeah,
experience.
let's be fully present and totally engaged here in this magic that
Yeah.
you made happen in just 5 weeks. So you showed up every week and you went all in and you reawakened yourself here. And so you have lost a total of 29 3/4 inches in five
Wow.
weeks.
Wow.
And you lost 13.6 pounds.
Wait, did you include the last weigh that I shared with you yet?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
because you had started out, and what was so funny is that we had a holiday. So we had July 4th holiday, and you did, quote unquote, you said, wow, we did a lot of barbecue, right? But that was
A
what
lot
was
of
so,
barbecue would have been an understatement.
and this is what's so amazing, because when you first started 5 weeks ago, you weighed 190.6 pounds when you first started.
Yeah.
Now you weigh 177 pounds as of yesterday.
Yeah.
But the week before yesterday, so on July 9th,
Mm-hmm.
you weighed 194 pounds. And then after our session on July 15th, you weigh 177 pounds. Because this is what's so amazing. One of the things I told you about the barbecue, since you jump started your metabolism, you cleared out all of that sludge of inflammatory fluids and waste products, your energy, your electrical energy circulating in your body, your cells are working, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you started hiking more, because then you had told me too, you had increased your hikes recently again
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
So basically your barbecue on 4th of July fed all of your muscle to grow, and then they ate all
100%.
of that extra weight, and then you bounced back, you shifted. And that's just so cool. It's one of the phenomenons of the weight management program I was teaching at the gyms where I worked in for 6 years. You challenged your metabolism by eating more calories. It fed the muscle grew, and then it took all of the excess fuel you had in your body and ate it. And you made
Mm-hmm.
a bigger shift because you had barbecue on 4th of July. That worked out great for you. So now you're ahead. You lost 13.6 pounds and you lost 29.75 inches. And especially in your waistline, we had taken that great photo of you showing your pants, because that's really where the biggest loss happened, was around the hip hugger pant
Really?
line. Three and a
Oh,
half
wow.
inches. 3.5 inches.
3.5 inches. Oh, wow.
That's what you were holding out in the photo, is 3.5 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well done. Well
No
done.
wonder my pants are falling.
Yeah, you better tighten up that belt or you're going to walk right out of them on the street. You better be careful. I think you're going to need to get some new jeans. Walk right out of those jeans if you're not careful.
Like I may have to, because I'm always around like 36, 35 size. So it sounds like I'm closer probably to the 34.
Not anymore. I think you're
Yeah.
around 34 now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like when I weighed myself yesterday, and granted, I didn't eat all day just because I was running around. And so technically my my system was probably on empty at that point. Like it was early evening. Like I actually had to step on the scale twice.
Yeah, just to believe it, huh?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, wait. No, well, the reason why I say that, because I don't think I have ever weighed that number
Oh, nice.
since high school, or even before. Like in high school, when I used to do 2 days and play, football, like I was at 185.
Now, too, it'll vary a little bit because it depends. And from the football, you can have more muscle that you're carrying.
True, yeah.
And also, too, you probably built up your upper body, more muscle. That the hiking is really focusing on the muscle, which is why you lost most of the inches from the waist down into your legs. Because you also, in your thighs, you lost 2 inches in your mid thighs too.
Yeah.
But the other thing for us to really look at and address is that the power of the nutrient body sculpt treatment is really in the lymphatic drainage experience. So you don't have any extra inflammation on you. You don't have extra waste products of cells, because you're hiking and active and you're sweating, and also because you drink a lot of water. So you flush out all of those toxins. There's no reason for your body to hold on to fat as a defense mechanism to defend you from funk trapped in your body. Now you're efficient. You're at full peak performance, high capacity. You don't have all this extra. I like to call it Jello. We don't have a whole bunch of putting Jello in you anymore.
I definitely feel like I've never had such a huge kickstart, and I would even say simple kickstart.
Yeah.
I mean, I've recommitted before, but with this process, it felt a lot simpler.
Yeah, you just have to show up for 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
What I like to, can you talk about, because what I love to see is, especially by the 3rd session, when did you increase your hiking? Because it's this natural occurrence where you just feel like being more active because you have more energy.
Probably, yeah, I would say it was probably in the middle.
Yeah.
Where I really the last 2 weeks, I think I was already doing the 4 miles, or towards the last 2 weeks, I was definitely maybe doing 6 to 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Without any issue, right? Yes, I mean, was there resistance? Sure. But the resistance, even week 1, instead of being 100%, it was probably 70, and then it just started dropping. Yeah. So I think it is, the fact that my body was supported in a different way. That, I mean, was it, a little bit difficult at first? Sure, but not as difficult as I remember before.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to ask you to describe too, because this is another really fun phenomenon that happens. What about your mental clarity and your quality of sleep and your creativity? Because it's not just what we look like, and it's not just our level of energy to exercise more, be more active that increases, but too, how do you feel your quality of life is with your sleep and mental clarity too?
I think the energy has definitely gone up. I don't know about sleep, but I would say when it comes to sleep, I would say that my recovery went up as well, or resilience, right?
Nice.
Meaning, even if I sleep, let's say whatever, 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours, like to me, I would wake up more refreshed.
Nice, more rested. You know, another
Yeah,
thing that you had told me I loved that you had said too was that you felt more resilient regarding stress too. Do you want to speak
yeah, yeah.
about
No,
that?
for
Like
sure.
less
Yeah, like
triggered by
to
stress,
me,
right?
and it kind of adds to just what I was saying, like that there was an aspect of resilience. I mean, it wasn't night and day, but it was a noticeable amount that like, okay, like I can do this and I'm okay. Like, just like you were saying, to me, like energy wise, I feel like, more like a 25-year-old kid, like that, like it seems like my body is working properly,
Yes, yes.
versus, I mean, not that I wasn't super unhealthy, but like I just noticed that, like, I don't know, it's almost like I'm in my own body versus like a fat bodysuit, like feeling back to it. When obviously when I was at that state, it was something that I became not aware of, but like accustomed to. So it was my old normal,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was fine. But like I definitely feel completely different, now.
So how would you compare if you describe what was your old normal and then what are you now?
Um, it's kind of hard to kind of put them side to side, but like to me, it definitely feels like night and day, like that much of a difference.
Because then how much were you hiking? How physically active were you before you did the five body sculpt
I
treatment?
really wasn't. I
Okay,
mean, I would hike here and there, but nothing consistent.
right.
Uh, yes, obviously, I think the going through the procedure kind of gave me an additional reason to kind of recommit, and but I think by having the procedure done with it made it easier
Yeah.
to stick to with it.
Yeah, because again, if you feel more rested, then you feel more energized to go out and hike, right? So then it's not such a hard thing to take on.
Well, I would say that my endurance started going up and up, where the hike, I mean, yes, you still had to do it, but it didn't feel like, oh my God, this is such a, like, and I go up some hills. I mean, it's 3 miles up and down. Like, I can show you the pictures, but I think you know my areas. I just go all the way down to the end of the street,
Yeah,
which is
I walked your dog
about,
in your neighborhood. That's some serious business. You got to really be on your game to go up and down those hills.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, I do a decent amount. Like, I'll do usually 3 miles, around 50 minutes, an hour if it's hot, like if it's really, really hot. And usually I'll do 4 miles with a few extra hills in there in about hour and 20, hour and 30, which is, I think, is pretty good for me. And in the meantime, I'm just, feeding my mind with content and books and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is so exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you proud of yourself? I really want to take a moment
No,
and
I
celebrate
am.
you.
I am. And I'm looking forward to continuing, and just like we talked about, maybe even ordering the soak, that way,
Yeah.
next Thursday I could have that and maintain, the levels of minerals and vitamins that is in that soak, so that my body can continue um, being in that state.
Yeah, now that you're in peak performance, you have all the right nutrition in there. Your body has what it needs to rebuild you and fuel your energy. And most of all, because we got rid of all of the sludge, you have really good electrical energy conduction through your body, you have more energy. Another thing I wanted to ask you about, you had said too, from having the compression of the nutrient body sculpting with the wraps that are soaked in the minerals, you said it really felt actually not uncomfortable by the fifth session. Because if you compare how you felt from the first time to the
Yeah, so
end, it
the
really
first
changed.
section, it it felt very, very restricting, like, and tight, and in a way partially uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Um, but talking about the last session, it actually almost felt good and like almost like welcomed resistance.
Yeah, because you're
I
so
don't know how to
strong
explain.
now.
Yeah, and to me, the interesting thing that I noticed was that yes, I was mainly only hiking, but at the same time, it feels like my overall physique improved. It wasn't just like one area.
Yes, it's
Like, I mean, I
true.
wasn't going to the gym and waiting lifts and or lifting weights. There you go.
Right, right, right. You didn't do all this
But at
other
the
weight
same
training.
time, even like my arms and everything, that it got toned, and I would even say started regrowing the muscle, or the muscle became
Yes.
uh, of better quality.
Yes, that's part of the magic over the 5 weeks with the nutrients soaking into your skin, into your bloodstream. You had the right construction materials for your body to be rebuilt because these results, I'll share some specific things too, because talking about like your arms, for example, you lost 1.5 inches in your tricep and bicep
I mean, that's quite
area
a
of your
lot if
arm.
you think about it,
Hmm.
just the diameter of the arm.
Yeah, it's a
Like, I
lot.
mean, it might be not as much, like, let's say if you're talking about waist area,
Mhm.
but like, yeah, with an arm, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a big percentage. It really is. Because that's like about 10% of the whole diameter of the
Yeah,
upper arm. Because that usually averages anywhere from like 11 to 13, 14 inches. There's not like a whole lot of space there. So when you lose 1.5 inches there, it's a big, big portion of it.
yeah,
And
no.
same idea too, because now we lost some in your chin, 3/4
Mhm.
of an inch, 1/4 of an inch in your cheeks to find in your face. So we got
Yeah,
to
no,
take
yeah,
some
I mean, this
photographs.
was definitely probably the first
Yeah.
noticeable thing that like happened. I felt, as we call the opportunity area. It took a little bit longer to catch up, but
Hmm.
I think it did. And from what it sounds like, you're saying that was the area that ended up being the most loss.
Yeah, yeah, that abdominal area, because too, part of it relates to what you said about feeling more resilient regarding stress too. Because the abdominal area below our belly button, we can collect weight there as a response to how we're managing stress. So from the adrenal glands overworking in response to stress, we tend to collect that tire around our abdomen that is usually our pant, right? Our waistline and low riding pants. All of the
Mhm.
stress weight goes there. So now that you're more resilient, not as triggered by stress, and you're in peak performance, all that went away. So yeah, that's 3.5 inches is a big deal. So cool. Also in the upper stomach, you lost 1.5 inches too. So that's
Yeah,
fun
no,
also.
and it's interesting. Like, obviously, I was taking a look at my physique, after the
Yeah.
battle, and it was interesting because, like, I have some, I would say, pretty wide, what's the word, ribs, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it goes squish.
Yeah.
Like there's something missing there, but
Yeah, you have more definition now.
yeah,
Yeah, it makes your shoulders look broader too when you have that angle in without carrying extra
yeah,
inches there. Yeah, that's so cool. And then too, you really did, that's a pretty big deal in your thighs to lose 2 inches too. So you just, like you had said, it's an overall global effect that's
yeah,
really, really nice. So proud of you. So
yeah. No,
proud
yeah.
of
To me,
you.
it like I was surprised at the well, don't get me wrong, I still had to put in the work, and
Yeah.
I'm happy that I did. But
Nobody else is doing the 5, 6, 4 mile hikes a week. You're doing it.
well, but to me, it didn't feel like as hard like as I thought that needed to work to get these kind of results, if that makes
Yeah,
any sense. Like
it
for me,
totally
I thought I
does.
should be in the gym like every day for hour to 2 hours lifting and this and that. And to me, like going for a walk, granted, yes, somebody might not have the hills or whatever, but anybody can go for a half an hour walk if they just starting, but
Yeah.
then an hour walk and then an hour and a half walk, just into their, and it's like, it's not complex exercise, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's very accessible, and what I really like is this experience that you had, is that you were easily getting more energy, easily more motivated to increase it, and it just organically happened. You just wanted to do more, you felt better to do more, and you did more of the
Okay.
walking, and now you've landed at this amazing hour and a half, is 6 days a week. You get to maintain these results permanently long term. And then I love that you're interested in looking at how would be the easiest way for you to continue with the nutrition for your body too. And you have some choices for that. But that's what I love about this too, from working in the gym as a trainer and a yoga instructor. I've helped people do a lot more work to
Well, no,
get these
and that's the
results.
thing. Like that was a surprising thing that, like,
Yeah.
I would definitely, if somebody is thinking about taking their health into priority, this is one of the best ways to jumpstart your journey, like by far. And I've tried a lot of different things.
That's my favorite thing, because that's why I invested in learning and offering this treatment, because that's always what I want. I
I know,
really want
I
to
honestly,
provide the
I did
best.
not expect these results in such a short time.
Yeah, isn't that so fun? And
And
now
yes, I
it
was
was for me
expecting results,
too.
but like to me, the actual end results were like, whoa, like it really did surprise me in a good way.
And
So
it's so cool. So you self too, you worked much harder in the past. You didn't have to this time. You
yeah.
landed in this great superhero place, and you can keep on flying. Yay. Woo woo.
Now you need to buy one of those capes, right, and give it to your clients as
I love
graduation.
that idea. Yes, because I was gonna ask you to think about what is your superhero name. We should just go for it. You can
Well,
decide.
like I would say that the, I mean, what I would say, right, to me, I felt that I reconnected or stepped into my higher self, right, more than anything, right, which is,
Yes.
my higher self. The name is Skyline Heart, which is actually on my Facebook.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect. So now you're flying in the sky, Skyline Heart. Yes, you are. There's actually a real star in the universe called Lionheart Star.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll share
Yeah,
that
but it
with
was it
you.
was really interesting. That name actually came to me as a result of a couple of personal development events
Oh, that's
that were
perfect.
pretty intense, and it's like, and I remember first time when they were like, okay, the first workshop was called the Inline Warrior Training Camp,
Nice.
and T. Harvecker actually.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I know him in that training. I had thought about doing it. I used to.
Oh my God, I would highly recommend it.
I probably saw you. I used to do, I used to volunteer as an ambassador, and I was the one in the back of the room at the trainings. If you wanted to continue your
Yeah,
journey and invest in more courses, you
yeah.
would come talk to me in the back of the room, old school.
Yeah, I
I
used to
see
do Karma Crew
potentials.
too after I kind of
Yeah, yeah. Oh
but
my
I think
gosh,
we're
I wonder
probably
if
at
you were
a
in
different
Karma
time
Crew
then.
with me. Oh my God, we'll have to look at the dates.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I haven't done much with them because the organization and the culture kind of changed a
Yeah,
lot.
it shifted. There was a changing of the guard in the leadership, and it
Yeah,
shifted.
twice. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know. Like, I still love the training. It really is fundamentally life-changing training. Like, and the crazy thing was that I've always heard about the testimonials and things like that, and I thought it was like, okay, BS, just trying to sell. And like when I went through it, you really can't describe it. Like unless you experience it, like you do not know. And that's part of the reason why, you know, there's an aspect that warriors do not talk about what happens at warrior camp, right? Because everybody has their own experience, and it's almost like the perfect, beautiful, magical, safe place. Just, I mean, the closest thing that I can think to warrior, which is like a very light appetizer, but in the similar energy, is unleash your inner lion.
Yeah, I feel like
Right,
that
that
too.
I call the sacred space, the
Yeah,
sacred ground
yeah,
of transformation.
yeah. It is, because again, we face so much within ourselves, and we move through things as a group as we face
Yeah,
those very deep parts of ourselves. And it's you
yeah,
can't describe the experience and what you reveal of yourself to yourself and to each other in the group.
yeah.
If
You
you
get
weren't
very
there.
clear very quickly, you know, because that's the way that the training is designed. It's not telling you what to think. It allows you to go through the experiences and, you know, see what serves you, see what doesn't. And like, to me, I don't know if I've shared this with you. Like, I really, the best way I can describe it in a simple way, I did end up going to the warrior training camp as a 30-year-old boy, and I left as a 30-year-old man. Like, that's the type of like exponential shift that happened. And it's like, and even a lot of like people in my life, they were like, what happened to you? Like, it wasn't
Yeah,
even like, not that I changed the look, but like my energy shifted, you know,
yeah,
after the training.
yeah.
But yeah, so, and I remember, yeah, the first day I was running a little bit late. Like, there was a little bit of traffic. We got there a little bit later. We missed dinner, which was fine. And we're, you know, sitting like pre-session before the whole, you know, event. And one of the exercises we had to do, we had to come up with a warrior name. And I'm like, oh my God, come on. Like, really? And, you know, but once they started going through the process, I ended up like, all of a sudden started seeing images. And, you know, like, first image that I saw, like in the distance, and then it became closer and closer and closer, was an image of a lion. Like, okay, interesting. Or at least that was my thought process, you know, through the exercise. And then, but it wasn't just the line. There was like, there was something glowing and always pulsing. And,
Oh,
you know, when the image came closer, I was able to see like the lion heart like glowing. That's
oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm looking for my cord. I think I'm running out of batteries on my.
yeah. And then the wizard training camp was, I saw like a lion with his paws in the ground, like very grounded, like big, not like like lion claws, like in the ground, very grounded. And then the like half the body torso was actually in the sky. It was like almost out of the clouds. And
Wow.
to me, it felt like that was a translation of connecting Mother Earth and Father Sky, right? That combination. And then at the end of the workshop, the two actually came together. That's how it, you know, came together as Sky Lion Heart.
Yeah, that's
It came
great.
together.
I love that. That's so much beautiful symbology
Yeah, no,
in
it's
that.
very interesting. And it's like, you know, when you're going through that process, some of the very interesting name comes out, and it's just interesting to see kind of, or and to connect maybe on a deeper level with not just uh, you know, humans, but the being within.
Yeah, the life force within and how it
Yeah.
operates in and through you and through all things. And then you get to see yourself in nature, in animals. You see it's all of that same incredible, all creative, all powerful force of the
Mm-hmm.
entire universe operating in you and everything. We reflect it back to us everywhere we look, everything we are. So cool.
Yeah, I want to find somebody that's really good at like drawing
Oh,
to
yes.
do that drawing for me, because like I still see that image very um like clearly.
Yeah, and it's such a powerful, such a wonderful image.
Yeah,
The-
yeah, it's a very unique. I mean, part of the image is kind of similar to the one I have on Facebook,
Yeah,
where you have part of the line and then part of like stars, like or and like ethereal. I mean, I'm gonna change it for like marketing purposes and stuff soon, but like, yeah, that's still like that's very close, like how I feel, like internally, like.
Yeah, for you, for your logo, and also, you know, we're on this journey, each of us, it's what you've become. And when you are in it, then we have a calling and a duty to help other people go on the journey to facilitate, right, their self-discovery and growth.
Yes.
And awaken their superhero Jedi within.
Oh my God, 1 second.
Yeah.
I do have to jump off in about a minute. I just realized
Okay.
another
Well,
gentleman that I need to connect with, but no, that's awesome. So you said 29.5 inches, was that right?
yes, a total of 29.75 inches and
29.7.
13.6 pounds. And one of the things that was so cool is that you lost inches between the sessions too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just in the actual treatment where you lost the 21.5 inches in the actual treatment, but you were also losing inches between each treatment during the weeks as your body really turned on and became in peak performance, and you cleared out any old sludge.
So I'm curious, what were the inches lost during our last
In the very
session?
last session in the room, you lost 3.5 inches. But
Okay.
what was so interesting, though, is the inches that you lost in between the sessions. So in between week 1 and 2, you lost 5.25 inches from when you left the office and came back. Then between week 3 and 4, you lost another 1.5 inches. Then between week 4 and 5, you lost another inch. So in between the sessions, you lost 7.75 inches. And in the actual treatment room, in the sessions, you lost 21.5. So that's how you got to the 29.75. And then you had that wonderful journey of losing the 13.6 pounds, even though you had those extra barbecue pounds at 194 on July 9th. By July 15th, you blew it out and you were down to 177. It's completely awesome. And yes, if you had eaten before you weighed yourself, you would have a few more pounds, maybe 3 to 5 pounds from food.
Yeah.
So just make a choice whenever you weigh yourself to see what's really happening.
Yeah,
you do it at the same time of day with or without food, and then you see what your baseline is and what changes.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that it was probably closer to 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but like at the same time, like to me, you know, haven't broken the 170 in a long time.
Yeah.
I was always in 190, 200s lately. And,
yeah.
you know, like to me, it was starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and now you have this energy and you feel rested after you sleep, and now you have this resilient ease for the exercise you do. You can enjoy it, and so just keep doing what you're doing. And then, yeah, if you want to continue with the bath soak, that's one way, once a week to get the nutrients in to help you have the fuel to keep rebuilding your muscle like you had said. And then what we can do is just track, we are our lightest in the morning after we haven't eaten all night. Before we eat breakfast is probably when you land at this 177. If you keep that as the baseline of when you weigh yourself, when you first wake up before you have food, then you can see, because your results can continue too.
Okay, I love
and
you.
You gotta go. Love you too. Congratulations. Okay, Skyline Heart, you fly. You go get them.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.